Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has asked for patience as he defends his decision to stop subsidizing fuel. The government says the subsidy, which has been in place since 1977, will officially be withdrawn from the end of June. It comes at a time when Nigerians are already struggling to cope with record-high unemployment and poverty. Inflation in the country is at an 18-year high. The cost of fuel and transport has already risen sharply since President Tinubu made the announcement in his inauguration speech, and people are paying up to 3 times as much at the pump.
Closed petrol stations, queues of people desperate to fill up at stations that are still open, and skyrocketing prices. Nigerians have been accustomed to cheap fuel for decades. But now with the cut of subsidies, people here in Lagos say they can't afford the increase in costs.
And currently, the fuel subsidy have really been hard on us. Formerly at NMPC, they will give you for a litre 184 naira. But as at yesterday, I bought 1 litre for 435 naira.
Presently, when we look at transportation, going to work is higher, and maybe your earning at work is not even much. The food, everything is expensive. So, man, it's really affecting us. The government should just have mercy on Nigeria.
In all of this, salary has not increased. Salary, imagine someone, a friend of mine pays 700 from Shangote to Lekki. He now pays 1,002, 1,005, and he's earning 80,000. So let's do the maths. There's nothing left.
Nigeria runs on fuel. It's not just cars, buses, and trucks. People rely on generators to power their homes and businesses. And the price hike is having a knock-on effect. Food prices have risen too. Many Nigerians were already struggling without these extra burdens.
Nigeria is oil-rich and one of the top 2 crude oil exporters on the continent. But it cannot refine enough. So it has imported its petrol and sold it to the public at a subsidized price. There is hope a new refinery might help. But in the meantime, should Nigerians start paying the real price of petrol as Tinubu wants?
My opinion is that the government should keep paying for it. Let's enjoy the country, let the poor rest, let them breathe.
The after effect of it, of course, for a long time might be beneficial for everybody. But everybody is suffering. Imagine the overall effect of this subsidy removal. Transportation is going to go up. Food prices, every other thing has gone up.
I think we'll bear it for some time, after which, if the refineries are being constructed and if they are being constructed, I think the price of fuel will reduce for some time. It will reduce, and I think Nigeria should just bear it for some time.
It's not the first time this unpopular move has been discussed. Previous administrations have failed or backed away from seeing it through. So, cutting the fuel subsidy will be a major test for Tinubu's administration.
Looking back, should Nigeria have subsidized the building of refineries rather than the price of fuel? Well, we put that question to Hawa Mustafa. She's an economist based in Abuja.
Well, currently Nigeria has 4 refineries built by the government. These 4 refineries were built between the 50s and 60s and early 70s. Unfortunately, none of the refineries is functioning as we speak. At least none is even functioning up to 10% capacity or 20% capacity for the whole 4 of them. So Nigeria has built, we have used the oil money to build refineries, and which was the right thing to do at the time when crude oil was a major source of energy in the world, and also for Nigerians, and also a major source of income, and foreign exchange for the country. So it was okay, and that it was not right that the country could not maintain the refineries for such a very long time, and rather depended on importation. And I think that is what has led us to the crisis that we are into right now with respect to issues of fuel. So the country should have rather concentrated, you know, on maintaining its refineries rather than importing and subsidizing consumption for an imported good. You know.
Mustafa.
So that was very faulty. That was a very faulty development strategy.
And while you're on the point, the world is now moving away from fossil fuels. Very quickly, does Nigeria have a plan to transition from its oil dependency?
Nigeria has an energy transition plan. Nigeria has its nationally determined contribution in which it has also committed to the reduction in the production and consumption of fossil fuel. Immediate mid-term target is 2030 and the longer-term target is 2065. So we have that plan.
Right.
We have made that commitment. However, the implementation towards meeting the commitment has been very weak. At the same breath that we talk about transitioning, you know, we are not practically doing the transition because in the last 10 years, the country has expended more resources in exploring more oil wells than in investing in alternative energy. We have spent in the last 10 years, you know, combined to what we spent in fixing our refineries and also trying to explore new areas of oil, of crude oil and gas, the country has expended more than $20 million, more than enough within the period of 10 years. Money that is more than enough for us to have expanded, you know, invested in alternative energy. So I don't think, and up till now, the country seems to be more, the target, the strength seems to be more on fossil fuel than alternative, than green energy, and which is not very good for us. Even the people in terms of consumption, when we fight, when we struggle, when we complain, when we cry, when we wail, you know, it's more about fossil fuel energy without understanding that the world is shifting away from that, you know, into alternative energy. And however much oil means to us today, in another 10 years or 20 years, it might mean nothing to us because nobody is going to be looking at our oil in the world. So,
right, that is. Thank you very much, ma'am. We'll have to leave it there.
Points that the government has done,
Yeah, we'll leave it there. Hawa Mustafa talking to us in Abuja. Thank you.